Canada just delivered a stunning blow to Donald Trump and his authoritarian movement in the United States. Prime Minister Carney made a surprise appearance at the Toronto International Film Festival, and he did not hold back. Looking straight into the camera, he declared, "Donald, if you're watching, don't push a Canadian too far. You've already seen what happens when we go elbows up." The very next day, Carney doubled down with a powerful speech in Ontario. He urged Canadians to prioritize homegrown industries, expand trade beyond the United States, and build stronger, more reliable partnerships across the globe. His message was clear. It's time to move on from America's shadow. Amid this wave of national pride, a new figure has stepped into the spotlight, Charlie Angus. Leading what's being called the Resistance Tour, Angus just launched Midas Canada, which exploded with over 100,000 subscribers in its first 24 hours. It's proof that Canadians are not only listening, they're ready to act. The fighting spirit is alive, the resistance is growing, and Canada is standing tall.
Current times make them all the more precious. We're in a more dangerous, divided, and intolerant world. In Canada, our sovereignty, our identity has come under threat. And when Canadians heard those threats, they channeled their inner John Candy, stood up, elbows up, wrote our own lines. Cela nous rappelle que nous sommes maîtres chez nous. We have our own plans. I'm almost done, don't worry. I'm almost done because I didn't move the watch. As Uncle Buck said, I spent a lot of time on this speech. As Uncle Buck said, I don't think I want to know a 6-year-old who isn't a dreamer. Okay? Shimon Peres, I don't think he saw Uncle Buck, but he expanded on this. And he said, and I quote, "A young person is someone whose dreams are bigger than their accomplishments." Okay. Canada is a story whose best chapters are yet to be written. Not least because we're a country that welcomes the world's storytellers, celebrates their stories, and grows with them. So TIFF at 50 is just starting out. Thank you for the honor of helping to open this. Merci. Enjoy the film. Et vive le Canada!
Minister Carney declared that the relationship between Canada and the United States has been irreparably broken. Canada, he said, has moved on, building new partnerships across the globe and leaving behind the ties that once bound it to the United States.
The world is changing rapidly. The largest economy, the United States, is fundamentally reshaping all of its trading relationships. And we're moving from an age that lasted decades, an age when free trade was a motor of global economic growth, to a new age, an age of economic nationalism and mercantilism. You know, the U.S. tariff rate is now the highest it has been since the Great Depression in the 1930s. And these tariffs are being applied to all countries on nearly all goods. And the changes in U.S. policy go beyond tariffs. Countries now must in effect buy access to the world's largest economy through investments, through unilateral trade liberalization, and policy changes in their home markets. And all the while, the transformation of global trade is occurring against a backdrop of wider economic disruptions, of geopolitical realignment, of AI and other technological transformations, and the necessity, the imperative of a shift to a greener economy. What's going on is not a transition, it's a rupture, and its effect will be profound. Workers displaced from their jobs, supply chains that have existed for decades disrupted, companies forced to change where they find their materials and their products. And all of this is causing an extreme uncertainty that's holding back massive amounts of investment and, as a consequence, slowing economic growth. Just this morning, we see the impact in today's employment report in Canada, with unemployment rising across regions and sectors. This makes decisive action crucial. To be clear, we're in a position right now where Canada currently has the best trading deal with the United States of any of their trading partners. 85% of our trade with the US is now tariff-free. We have the lowest tariff rate of any country in the world. But we also know that given all those changes, given the rupture, we can't rely on our most important trading partner as we once did.
And here from that same speech, Prime Minister Carney talks about going beyond the United States and looking to other countries to do deals with. Play this clip.
Given that we can't control what other nations do, Canada's government is focused on what we can control. And that means building our strength at home, building Canada strong. That means giving our workers and our companies the tools they need, retraining our workers, transforming our strategic sectors, creating entirely new industries, and being our own best customer by buying Canadian. And to these ends, our new government is embarking on an ambitious plan to secure a new era of prosperity out of this age of adversity. Our new industrial strategy will help transform our economy from being overly reliant on the United States to one that is more resilient to global shocks. A new economy that's built on the solid foundation of Canadian industries, Canadian workers, and it's bolstered by diverse international trading partners. To drive this transformation, we've just launched the Major Projects Office. Its job is to fast-track major nation-building projects.
In the same speech, Prime Minister Carney emphasized the need to look beyond the United States and pursue new trade agreements with other nations.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. Wow. Okay. Clearly a lot of Canadians have flown in from abroad and haven't known what's going on. Thank you. I'm here, Cameron, thank you very much. I'm here to take credit for, all those decisions that Justin and the government took. Seriously, I'm here to reinforce the commitment. And honestly, this is, it's a great honor. I've been in those seats. It is a great honor to be up here, particularly on the 50th anniversary of the Toronto International Film Festival. For half a century, extending the invitation to the world accepting, bring us your stories.
During his Ontario speech, Prime Minister Carney reaffirmed Canada's steadfast support for Ukraine. He vowed that Canada would remain a bulwark against Vladimir Putin's attempts to destabilize Europe and undermine the free world. His remarks also carried a pointed rebuke of Donald Trump, underscoring Trump's weakness in confronting authoritarian threats.
Office announced yesterday a willingness to support Ukraine with scalable assistance, military assistance to support a lasting peace in the country. But now we've heard the Russian president reject such security assurances. He says that any foreign troops in Ukraine would be a legitimate target. Does that change at all your stance that was announced yesterday?
Look, President Putin is the cause of this war. He has not yet come to terms with the need for peace. We need to maintain, through the coalition of the willing, other allies, the Ukrainian armed forces need to maintain maximum pressure. That pressure has several aspects. First, obviously the Ukrainian forces themselves and ensuring that they are appropriately armed in their valiant fight, and Canada has just reinforced that, as have other allies. Secondly, that pressure is economic. Sanctions. We have put in place sanctions on more than 3,000 individuals, tightening the oil price cap and other sanctions. The next wave of sanctions is being prepared amongst allies, and it will come, and these are having an effect on Russia's economy, and we need to keep there. The third aspect is to make clear that Ukraine will be supported when peace comes, when there is a cessation of hostility. First and foremost, that's the Ukrainian army, but yes, it will need to be backed up by robust and credible security guarantees. That's why Canada is in the coalition of the willing, and through part of that. Mr. Putin is the cause of this war. He's the reason for the killing. He is not going to dictate the terms of the peace.
Canada's boycott is hitting the United States hard, crushing its tourism industry and undercutting a wide range of American products. And it's not just Canada anymore. Inspired by Canada's example, countries across Europe, Australia, and beyond are adopting similar tactics, showing how to stand firm against Trump's authoritarian regime. On Friday, we learned something almost unbelievable. In an effort to lower egg prices, though groceries keep climbing and America just saw its worst jobs report in a generation, the Trump administration turned to Russia. For the first time in 30 years, the U.S. is importing chicken eggs from Moscow. Ukraine had already offered to step in and fill the gap, but Trump instead went straight to his buddy Vladimir Putin. The move isn't just absurd, it borders on traitorous. Meanwhile, in Canada, the resistance is gaining momentum.